Welcome to our first Let's Play. Today we're going to look at Curious Expedition, which is a faster than light type game. Um, it's a little bit roguelike, but instead of randomly generating an infinite number of levels, what this is going to do is set us through a series of adventures that are randomly generated. And we have a few different people that we can start off with. And they've all got different sets of perks and things that they start with. So, for example, Charles Darwin gains sanity, which is a sanity every time a butterfly is collected. And he starts off with things like a machete, a shotgun. He comes with a mule and a couple people to help him. And there's a whole host of people that we can work with: Frederick Courtney Sellis, Mary Kingsley, Alexandra David Neal, Freya Stark. For this first one, we're going to try with Charles Darwin. So the point of the game is to join and become the main member of an adventurers club. The problem that we are going to fall into is we are competing against four other people for this kind of high stature. So in this case, we're going to go up against Harriet Tubman, Mary Kingsley, Isabella Bird, and Dion Fortune. So as we go through our own adventures, we are going to have to also deal with them and the things that they come back with. Now, each session, and in this case, there's going to be 6 sessions that we end up going through, we go to a different area of the world and explore and try to come up with as many artifacts and as many special things from that area. So this first time we're going to go through, we're going to go to a place called the Sad Grasslands. It should be a fairly easy place to start off with. So let's go ahead and start the expedition. Each expedition we start off at the pier, getting ready to leave. So eagerly anticipating the upcoming adventure, I made haste and arrived at the docks. We had some more time before the ship would be ready, so I spent my time on the deck enjoying the cool breeze. Someone approached me with a request. He desired to have a message delivered to a chief of a village that we would surely stumble upon in our trek. Most adventures will start off this way, so in this case we're going to go ahead and accept it. So at some point during our adventure, we will get extra points if we can deliver this letter. He handed us a letter, and I promised to deliver it. Just in time, the vessel was ready for our departure. So we set sail, and this is kind of the FTL-like things. It's going to generate a map. It's going to put a bunch of things down, and we're going to have to explore. Each time you play, the map will be different, and there are different types of maps. So like I said, we're in the Sad Grasslands, so it's going to have a mixture of things. There's things like prehistoric lands, deserts, that kind of stuff. Maybe we should attempt to deliver the letter first. Luckily, the man had marked the location of the village on our map. So here we can see it. It automatically showed that up for us. So now we have one of the 3 areas already discovered. Now on the map here, we have things like thick jungle. We've got grasslands. These question marks are things to discover. We know that this is here right now, but let's go ahead and head on over to this forest. So our party will come over here, and up here we can see it's taken us 9 days to get here. And when we get here, we can see all the area around it. We've found a stone circle, so let's go ahead and enter that. We came across a stone circle that seemed to be man-made. There were inscriptions etched into each rock. Maybe they formed some kind of map. Most of these places give you a couple different things to do. In this case, we can look at the inscriptions. We deciphered the inscriptions and found that they would help us find out more about a nearby area. Now these are fairly nice because we can use this to expose certain things. One thing that we can keep in mind is this compass up here. This is telling us where the ultimate goal of our thing is, a golden pyramid. So since it's kind of pointing in this general direction, we'll go ahead and use it to explore that. And thankfully nothing bad happened. So let's go ahead and check out this other site. And now that we've opened up all the areas, it actually kind of gave us a little bit extra. It showed us some extra things. So in this case, we have a traveler. We can approach him. A wandering tradesman has set up camp here. The colorfully dressed trader has had a lot of useful goods on offer. Most of them seem to be the remains of other failed expeditions. So one thing that will come up through the game, especially in villages and things like that, is the ability to trade, and this is how we get things. We don't really have money because most of the natives are not interested in money. So we can use the things that we have, for example, butterfly nets, machetes, things like that, to trade. So in this case, he's got some dynamite, which we can use to blow up mountains. Blank canvases, if we had someone who was a painter, they could paint on these. Spears, which give us extra dice during combat. Some rope, some whiskey, which regenerates sanity. As we can see here right now, we're at 84 out of 110. But right now we have chocolate, so I don't think we're too worried about it. Um, and the bartering system works on this red and green bar. So if I take a bottle of whiskey, I'm in debt to him right now. So I can give him our butterfly net, and that causes it to go green, and we can make a deal. I want to keep this because Charles Darwin gains sanity whenever he finds butterflies. So in this case, I don't think I'm going to take anything from him. The traders seem to expect to see us again as customers or as the next failed expedition to free up their worldly possessions. So now let's go ahead and check out this village. The villagers observed us with caution. They were kind and offered us what they could. Hormusji Azmi politely introduced us and asked if we were welcome to stay overnight. So now in this case, Hormusji, he's a translator. One of his perks is he allows us to rest in villages, so we can do that. So his indigenous diplomacy, and we'll get perks so we can level them up. So we'll go ahead and deliver the letter. We brought the letter to the village chief. To reward us, he told us of the best sights to see in the region, including a holy shrine, which he marked on our map. Our time with the natives was a delight, and they remained friendly and offered us more help. Now, most of the villagers are going to be dealt with off the standing. The standing is how well you are perceived in their eyes. So right now we're at 12 out of 20. Not great, but it's not horrible either. So we're going to go ahead and try to recruit somebody. We asked around to see if anybody was willing to join our cause. We were not successful. However, one of the elder villagers offered us a healthy-looking water buffalo. Now, the nice thing about animals is they have lots of pack, lots of cargo. So the water buffalo is going to give us a whole lot more slots to hold. Right now we're at 70 out of 10. We can hold off resting for right now, so we're not going to do that. I don't really have anything to trade, so we're not going to trade with them. So we're going to go ahead and leave. We packed up the trek and headed out as new adventures awaited us. So now, because we were on such good standing with them, we were able to find the shrine, so it showed it to us. So let's go ahead and head on over there. And as we go through, we're going to start using our supplies. So every time we go through a village, we're using these machetes. Shrines sometimes use rope to climb down into them. Caves use torches to go inside them. Most of the time we can get away without using them, but they will probably have very bad consequences if we don't. We'd arrived at a long-forgotten shrine. It was a bold testament to the power of its creators. Low-hanging vines partially concealed the entrance that led within. Somebody had drawn a circle of blood around the whole structure and planted spears into the ground as a warning to those, or for anybody that dared to enter here. A lot of these sites will show kind of a warning of what will happen, so I've never seen this one, so this will be interesting to see. So let's go ahead and enter the shrine. We arrived at what seemed like the treasure chamber. We quietly looked around at the majestic hall. Our steps echoed as we approached the sacred altar. So now we investigate. Anything with these red dots are going to be valuable to bring back and to trade with. The downside of taking them is usually taking them as kind of befitting some sort of like Indiana Jones movie. They will cause bad things to happen. So we're greedy. We're going to go ahead and take these. What a glorious day. We secured the treasure. We grabbed the treasure and hurried outside as the whole area started to collapse behind us. We would have to run for our lives to avoid being devoured by the giant chasm that was beginning to form. So now because we've stolen those things, the gods are angry at us. So we can see the ground starting to kind of swell and break here. So we should probably run away. So we're going to go ahead and run this direction. And as we can see, we have caused quite a bit of stuff to happen. So now the ground is literally falling apart behind us. It's going to continue to do this for a while. And we still need to find what we're looking for. On the map now is this little red area. Somewhere in here is a thing that wants to kill us. So we're going to try to avoid it as much as possible. I do have a Scottish soldier, which in the meantime I'm going to go ahead and level up. And let's see, what's this going to do? Increase sanity. better off with this right now. So I leveled him up. We do have one person that will fight, and you can see in his stats the dice we get. Red are offensive, blue are kind of helper dice, and green are defensive dice. So we've managed to stay away from whatever it is what's down there, and now we can see that chasm is finished building. So let's go ahead and we want to try to get over here, but we can't right now because we're blocked. So we're going to have to head down here. We can't travel across these blue things, so we've been attacked by a gorilla. We can flee, which is probably going to be the best thing. The attacks generally do half a heart per single damage. We've only got 2 attack dice. The gun's really not going to help us because we need to get 3 of these, and we don't have 3 of them. And so we're not going to do a whole lot. So we're going to go ahead and flee. We were attacked. We managed to run away. The group was scared and exhausted afterwards. We realized afterwards that in our hectic retreat, we lost some of the inventory on our way. So we lost our machetes. When we flee, sometimes everything's fine, sometimes they're not. In this case, we didn't turn out too bad. Now, fleeing doesn't get rid of this, in this case, our gorilla. He's just going to sleep for a few turns. And now we can see our line has gone from blue to red. As we continue on, our sanity is going to go negative. So we're going to eat some of our chocolate, which isn't going to help us a whole lot, but hopefully enough that we're not going to go completely crazy. So now this is awake, and he's going to start trying to chase us now. Just go ahead and find what this is. If we're lucky, it's a golden pyramid. If not, we have some more digging to do. Oh, nope, and it is. So every single map has a golden pyramid, and the first couple of levels we have, we can get into right away. So we'll go ahead and explore. The majestic golden pyramid rose above its environment, overcoming all obstacles we had yet survived. And this will properly end the adventure. So we'll go ahead and enter the pyramid. We'll take back everything we have. So we have our Miss Trask, which is our water buffalo, and we have 2 things that we've brought back. After weeks of traveling, euphoria came over me. I knew that my name would be forever remembered. So we finished the expedition, and now we're going to get points. So our current fame was 10, just our base fame. We got 100 for finding the golden pyramid. We found 12 butterflies, and each of those gives us a set amount of points. So we got 60 points for that. And every day we were on the adventure, we lose a point. So we were gone for 56 days, we lost that many points. So we ended up with 114. Now coming back, there's a whole big celebration. And we actually get to level up our characters a little bit. So most of the characters will get 3 perks to choose from. So we can do charismatic. I can do up to 2 recruits per expedition. So every time I set sail, 2 people will show up. There's a bullet hoarder. Somehow we continue to find bullets throughout the trek. This comes in handy because bullets give you different dice rolls as you go through. And Desert Explorer, reduce movement cost in deserts. I don't like doing the desert, so I don't think I'm going to take that. What I will do is do charismatic. This comes in handy later as in this case we didn't lose anybody, but as we lose people, this will make it much easier to replenish them and every time we start off. So now when we come in, it starts to tally up the points. So coming in, we have Mary Kingsley has the most points at 166. Isabella Bird has 155. Dion Fortune has 128. And Harriet Hubman has 120. I'm at 115. I'm actually not that far back. But we're presented with these options. So we can either gift things that we find to the museum, which gives us points, or we can sell them for funds. So we can sell them to, for example, a private collector. I'm going to gift this to the museum. So that shoots me all the way ahead in the first. This is kind of nice in the beginning. I have some money already, and I came back with a fair amount of goods. So then we're going to turn around, we're going to sell this to get us 10. So now we finished expedition number 1. We'll start expedition number 2 in the next episode. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like. If you are interested in these kind of things, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. You can get notified when new videos come out. But other than that, thank you and have a good day.